This is a 2026 Ford F250 XL STX. And Ford made it just a little bit more complicated when it comes down to buying this truck, and we'll discuss that here in a second. I borrowed it from Garff Ford here in West Valley, Utah. It is available for sale. Be sure to ask for Ken. You can text him down below. Let's go ahead and check out the window stickers so you guys can see the options and features on this build. At the very top is the description. And this is the color Avalanche. You guys see a short listing of the standard features. And then down below are all the options. So Avalanche $395, 7.3 was $1,500, 373 rear, STX package, FX4 package, platform running boards, engine block heater, Pro Power, trailer brake controllers, a standalone at $300, outfitter switches, and 250 amp alternator. Now, base price is $52,690. Destination comes in at $25,995 for a total price of $62,980. This really is Ford's incredible bargain truck. They have the best gas engine available in the segment. No one can still compete with Ford. You can get 430 rear with that 7.3, which gives you max tow. And if you decide you want to run taller tires, that just makes life a little bit easier because you're going to change the gearing anyways. Now, with that being said, this bargain truck got a little bit more complicated for this year because all these manufacturers are greedy and they're finding ways to try to take as much money from you as possible. Just kidding. Last model year, the 2025, the STX package was $5,115. For this year, it's actually cheaper. It's like $3,115, I believe it is, something like that. So that's good news, right? However, if you get a little bit closer to the truck, you'll see it does not have 360 camera. Why? Because Ford decided to take that out of the STX package and make you pay for it as a standalone option. And that is actually not a bad thing. Now, if you want the automatic high beams, you have to get yet another package. So all in all, if you add up the three packages together, it's like $4,995. So it's still cheaper than last year's STX package, right? However, this truck did go up $800 this year. So there's that too. But regardless of it, I still think that Ford is really at the top of the food chain with this middle class truck. This is a middle class truck, guys. No one can afford these things anymore. And so now the manufacturers are building what I dub middle class trucks. If you go to Chevy, their middle class truck is the custom trim level. If you go to Ram, they just introduced their middle class truck for the HD segment, which we'll be doing videos in the future on. But one thing I like about it is it gives you that monochromatic look. It gives you LED headlights, turn signals, fog lights, black recovery hooks, and it has a really sporty design. The only thing is it has a work truck interior, and that might be okay for some people. Now you guys see that front air dam? I would definitely switch that off with the off-road package truck or the trimmer package truck. That way it just looks a little bit cooler. Now here's a quick peek at that solid front axle. You guys see the fabric material for the liner, and then here are the tires. These are the Bridgestone Dueler ATs, 275/70/18. So 33.2 inches in height, 10.8 inches in width, 8 lug. I like the wheel design. Could you imagine a truck with like some 35s or even 37s with these wheels? I think it'll look pretty good. As you step back, you guys see you have more blackout on the side here. And this is a standard bed. Platform running boards are there. And you do have lights built into the mirrors with your turn signal lights right there. Heated top mirror. No blind spot monitoring, by the way. And then out back, here's that standard bed, no fifth wheel prep package. You can get defrost. I'd highly recommend that at the very least. You don't have to get the power sliding glass, which is also available. No camera above there. And here's where we're going to fill up at. And then this is a quick peek at the leaf pack. So you have 3 leaves in the overload, no liner in the rear. And this truck does have the FX4, so you have the skid plates, downhill assist, incandescent tail lights, Class 5 hitch with a 7 and 4 pin. Backup camera is the only one on this truck. And this tailgate is not assisted either. You do have some tie downs. Now, you guys see right there, right? This truck doesn't have the tie downs there. Down below, I do have a promo for Juggernaut. I think that this is a perfect truck to get with those simply because you don't have anything there. And it's actually a strap system too, so I highly recommend that I have it in my truck. Works great. Now, lifting up this tailgate is pretty lightweight. And here's that rear axle. Spare tire. And this truck did have that 373 electronic locker. And you guys saw the steps on the side of the bumper and the bed. Back in 2020, Ford really did shake up the truck market with this gas engine. Big displacement, simple design, which is push rod, cast iron block, and it's pretty overbuilt overall. Now, back in 23, they did do some updates to the intake. Also, they did update the piston rings and the water pump for just better efficiency. And I can probably speak to that a little bit because when I've done testing in the past, this engine does seem to get better fuel economy compared to the first generation of the 7.3. Now, this engine does have 430 horsepower, which comes on around 5,500 RPM, and 485 pound-feet of torque, which comes on around 4,000 RPMs. And if you don't know this, all that power goes through not the 10R140 but the 10R100 for the F250s. They changed that back in 2025, and here's what I'll tell you. If you're someone who doesn't tow a ton, this might be a better configuration for you. So if you're just towing your RV or your boat a couple times a year and you do mostly just unloaded driving, this transmission is a lot more forgiving compared to the 10R140. So we'll have to wait and see what Ford does in the future. Hopefully GM's going to be working on a new gas engine to really compete with this one. Nothing wrong with that one. It's just direct injection compared to the port injection. I just prefer the port injection overall, or both. Direct and port injection is fine. But hopefully we'll see maybe a hybrid in the future with this gas engine. We'll have to see, because there have been speculations of a new powertrain coming, and it's probably going to be hybrid. So your middle class truck now has cloth seats. In the past, the Lariat was the middle class truck, and now the Lariat can cost as much as a Platinum in some cases. But overall, exterior really nice. Interior, I would like to see maybe just a black interior in the future, because I think that it would just work better with these appearance packages, right? Now you still have auto up and down for just the front windows, auto down for the rear. You have power mirrors, but you don't have power fold or power tow mode, so just keep that in mind. Automatic headlights, electronic parking brake, and just a manual seat with just your lumbar and seat back positions. And of course, you can slide the seat too. Here's the steering wheel. You have cruise control right there. And then this is going to control that small screen up top there. Let's go ahead and jump over to the passenger side. No lumbar support adjustment on this passenger seat. Open storage and glove box. Now, if you do plan on carrying a bed camper, be sure to ask your dealership to put that camper package in. Ken here knows to do it, so when he orders trucks, we typically put them on the trucks because they don't make a big difference on the ride. I drove a dually with it and I didn't notice a difference, guys. So I just recommend that one package for 160 bucks. I think that Ford should just offer it as standard equipment. No seat back pockets. You have a 12 volt type C USBs, cup holders there, 60/40 bench, and don't forget your defrost. And you can get a power sliding glass, I believe, on XL STX too. Let's jump back over to the driver's seat. No push button start and no remote start for this truck. I believe remote start is available, however. And then here's that little screen. I'll show you guys some of the information on here. So you guys see, they do give you some temperatures, engine coolant, transmission temp, and oil temp. Battery voltage on the second page. And if you hit the menu right there, they have truck info. So it shows you the engine hours and off-road status. I wish that these showed the elevation because some of the other trucks do, and that'd be nice if they put that in there. Lastly, vehicle maintenance, so you'll see your tire pressure in here. And that's what's nice about 3/4 ton trucks. You don't have to run these tires so high, so you get a better ride because of that. Here's your backup camera. You can zoom into your conventional hitch. On the roof, auxiliary switches was a standalone. No vanity on this side, but you do have one on this side. And then this center console, pretty decent, I would say. Cup holders right there. They do provide a headrest and seatbelt for the 6-passenger configuration. But overall, I think the interior just needs a black interior. Just something that would just look better overall, I think, with these appearance packages. You see the locker, drive modes, full drive systems, electronic. Let's go ahead and check out the numbers on the door. So that front gross axle weight rating is going to be 4,400 pounds. The rear is 6,340 pounds. Gross vehicle weight rating is 10,000 pounds. And you guys see the wheels 18 by 8 wide, and the axle code is a 3E. All in payload is 3,400 pounds. 60 PSI out front, 65 in the rear. And this is pretty big payload for a 10,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. I'll show you guys the towing capacities here. But typically when you get 18-inch wheels, you have to get the off-road tires. That way you get better towing capacity. And I believe that you can get a higher gross vehicle weight rating. I just can't remember the packages online, but be sure to subscribe to the channel. Maybe I'll find a truck in the future. These are really hard to come by though. If you want to find a Super Duty with a 7.3, they're just really hard to come by. But this is available here at Ken Garff. Be sure to ask for Ken, and I'll see you guys in the next video.